Protesters, do you guys think that they're paid? Do you guys think that the protesters are being paid? The large majority, or do you think that people are just organically out there protesting, tearing up government buildings, throwing Molotov cocktails, all of that? Do you guys think that protesters are being paid? This is where I got all of my information at, by the way. Do you guys think that protesters are being paid? Let me know what you think. All right. Let's deep dive into it a little bit, y'all.
After days of this intense movement, many people, including President Trump, are wondering who's supporting some of these rioters. Senior national correspondent William LaJeunesse is in Los Angeles with that aspect of the story. And look, William, if people just thought, oh, maybe that's imagination, there's video. There are receipts for this.
Yeah, I mean, the money's got to come from somewhere, right? I mean, sure, it's hard to turn out several thousand people on any given night. And so you're going to have the water, the riot gear, the coordination to get out all these demonstrators. You have criminals, you have professional agitators, and activists who support a variety of left-wing issues, and they'll take any opportunity to bash the administration. So one group behind the demonstrations is CHIRLA, Coalition for Humane Immigrant Rights. The IRS document shows $34 million in government grants, including 3 from President Biden's DHS for $750 grand. President Trump cut that off. It also gets state and city grant money for lawyers to fight deportations. CHIRLA spends $10 million a year on salaries, including $200,000 for the director, Angelica Salas.
So we are asking that every
Wait. They spend $10 million a year on salaries? This is why y'all got to be careful what y'all donate to. Just because it's listed as a nonprofit, there's so much wrong with this conversation already. Just because they're listed as a nonprofit does not mean that the money actually go to any causes. You are paying for people to do whatever it is that they want to do and to live a lavish lifestyle. You are paying for people to do whatever it is that they're going to do, whatever they want to do, and to live a lavish lifestyle. $10 million in salaries. And that's not even the worst of what he just said in the report. The worst part of the report is that they basically said that they were receiving government federal funds. So your taxpayer dollars was going to fund these people that are basically funding all of this stuff that's happening in the streets, protests, problems, issues, troubles. Some of it went to the director and all of this stuff. Man, this is why we wanted to get to the government, the Department of Government Efficiency, because we wanted to see where the money is going. If you ever want to solve for a problem or you ever want to understand where the issues are, follow the money. That's why we call this the Millionaire Morning Show, because we're going to traverse different subjects, but we still got to figure out where it comes back down to the money. The money is where the play is. The money is where the play is. 10 million in salaries, bro. 10 million in salaries.
everybody that got arrested today be released. That's right. We want them in their houses with their families, with their children.
CHIRLA also founded the Rapid Response Network. That's the hotline immigrants use to report ICE raids. It will then text these alerts so immigrants can go hide and activists can stop ICE operations.
And so I was in a room yesterday morning, meeting with the immigrant rights organizations, and all of a sudden everybody's cell phones started blowing up. That's when we all heard about a raid that was taking place in Whittier.
So another organizer is SEIU. You see the purple there. They have 700,000 members. The union turns out big numbers. Others are simply there to bash capitalism.
We are the real workers. The working class is the one that builds this country. Yet it's the billionaires in power that continue to harass us and attack us and take absolutely everything from us.
Operation Healthy Hearts, according to the New York Post, handed out face shields and riot gear to protesters. Now, their kits include a lawyer's phone number to get out of jail, and some of these groups could face prosecution for aiding and abetting.
I did a video where a guy was basically, because think about this for a second. Yo, if you go through and you look at some of this stuff that's happening in the United States of America, and you look at some of these signs, protest, LA, just basic stuff, right? So, for example, if I go through and I look at a protest in LA or whatever, and let me see if I can find it again. Something like this, right? Something like this. And I'm gonna put this on my screen really quickly. So if I look at something like this, right? ICE out of LA. Usually, if it's an organic protest, people have their own homemade signs. They might have a leader that have a bullhorn. It's a lot of things that may happen, right, during a protest. A lot of things that may happen during the protest. But you don't have this level of organization this quickly. You don't have these quality of signs. Who is making these signs? Who's passing this out? Who are these people that have all of these t-shirts on? How are people taking pictures? How did it organize so well? Who got the bullhorn? Who didn't got the microphone? Who didn't got the speaker, the loudspeaker? How did they end up here? How did they do this and all of that? And you just got to be asking yourself this question. Like, if you just use your context clues, what do you mean ICE out of LA? Yeah, they're using the Dodgers font and stuff like that. What do you mean? And I see stuff like this happen all the time. And I'll be like, wait a minute. How did they get such well thought out, look at this, well thought out, organized signs and taglines, and people is all out here, and then ICE out of our communities. Look at this. Look at this nonsense. You start to deep dive into it, you're like, wait a minute, what? Where did they all get these masks from? And why do they have water? Who's handing out water and paychecks? Education, not deportation. Where is all of this? Flags. It's just all of a sudden everybody got a flag. Amazon, you go on Amazon, ain't no flags on Amazon, but everybody got a flag all of a sudden. I don't see an American flag nowhere in sight. But everybody is organized. Everybody is on point, taking care of business, protesters, people that ain't even Mexican, people that ain't even getting arrested, none of this stuff. Next thing you know, it just sweep the nation. Chicago, organized. Seattle, organized. Philly, organized. It just be everywhere. And in 2 days' time, it be everywhere. 2 days' time. And I just be like, you know what? Y'all not going to just keep on fooling me. Hell no, you're not just going to convince me that people just so happen to wake up and walk out of their house and everybody just ended up at the same place at the same time. Get the hell out of here, bro. Get the hell out of here. I'm not going for this nonsense.
They might think they're making the community
safer. They know how to get out of jail. They all got the same lawyers. Okay.
They're not. And we won't put up with that, and we're going to take criminal action against those type of organizations.
So the bottom line is, Harris, California is loaded with nonprofits that feed off taxpayer money. They can turn on a crowd in minutes, and we're seeing that here, now that coordination in other cities. Back to you.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you, even some of the stuff that I've seen some marches here in Detroit, and I actually stopped one. Remember when they was doing the whole protest against Elon Musk and the Tesla dealerships and stuff like that? And I was stopped at a light. And this is the honest to God truth. I was stopped at a light. And I had just got my Cybertruck wrapped. And they was standing on the corner and there was a bunch of white people. And it was like, you could tell. Like, you can tell people that know the city and people that don't know the city. It's people that have lived in downtown. It's people that lived in Detroit. For all of my people in the chat that's watching this from Michigan and in Detroit, it's people that live in Detroit, that grew up here, that don't even know how to get around downtown. They don't know nothing about the city. I know people that was born and raised in Detroit, and they don't know nothing about how to get around downtown. They still got to use maps. So the people that are down here, or the people that usually live, work, and play downtown, they all kind of move a little bit differently. We can spot an out-of-towner. We can spot somebody that's from the suburbs. We can spot somebody that's not from here. Most of the time they ask certain questions. They talk a certain way. We can spot them. And so when they start talking and it was like, yeah, I don't like your Cybertruck. And I just told him, I said, bitch, I don't like you either. And please don't make me get out of the truck. Well, we can talk about it. Oh, now you want to talk about it. I said, I know y'all not even from here. Y'all not even from here. They was organizing. They was all in a group getting their marching orders. They was on a corner about to get their marching orders, and there was a bunch of people that didn't even remotely look like they was from here. They don't know Woodward from Congress. They don't know John R. from Woodward. And they come down here and they march and they do all of this stuff or whatever, so on and so forth, whatever. They do all of this stuff on a regular basis. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate you too. I know who this Happy Father's Day is from. I know where it's from. Yep. This is all you. This is from you. I know where it's from too. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for sending me the gift. I appreciate you. But I think that these people are all paid. They all protesters. They all paid. And I'm not rocking with them. I'm not rocking with them whatsoever. Let me continue.
Joining us now is Oversight Committee member, Florida Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna. Congresswoman, looking at this chaos, who's funding it and why are they funding it?
So it's actually being funded by a billionaire by the name of Neville Singham. He's actually funding a group called the Party for Socialism and Liberation, which if you look online, they are a communist organization. What they're doing is they are using Hispanic Americans the way that BLM used Black Americans during these riots. And frankly, the way that Code Pink, which is also funded by the CCP, is using Palestinians. So what they're trying to do is they're using this to usher in Marxism. But it's important to note that actually when you find and you follow the money trail, Mr. Singham is actually largely funded by the Communist Chinese Party. So House Oversight has issued and will be sending a letter this Friday with all members of Oversight calling Mr. Singham to testify before Congress. If he does not appear and does not provide documents, he will then be held in contempt of Congress and he will be prosecuted by the Department of Justice. We are not playing. This is a different administration. We have the Department of Justice. And if you interfere with American politics and are a foreign agent, you will be held accountable.
Congresswoman, just take a listen to President Trump and his orders to the Department of Justice that they will be looking into those left-wing groups fueling the violence in Los Angeles. Take a listen.
The agitators are throwing firebombs and Molotov cocktails, lighting vehicles ablaze, and attempting to infiltrate and occupy federal buildings wearing armor and face shields. The best money can buy, somebody's financing it. We're going to find out through Pam Bondi and Department of Justice who it is. They're already on it. Who's financing all this equipment? Very professional.
I would expect that the DOJ is going to get to the bottom of that.
Well, we are also assisting, and we already have the receipts. I can tell you that there is significant financial money trails. All you have to do is follow the money. Remember, so Neville Singham is actually financing the LA riots, but there's also other groups coming in. But they have different ideological perspectives, some backed by Soros that are globalists, and then obviously the Marxist organizations. But remember, this is a color revolution, right? They're using these immigrants as a guise for their real objective and goal here. And frankly, it's nothing different than what happened in the summer of love during the BLM riots right before the election. They're doing the same thing before the midterms, and Democrats are trying to get the Hispanic vote, so that's why they're using Mexican flags.
Yeah, this is all planned. I believe that a lot of these people are paid to protest. If you go out there and you start having a conversation with a lot of these people, they 100% are being paid to protest. I was reviewing a video yesterday of a guy that said that he was offered $200 a day. Some people are saying that they getting offered way more than that. Have y'all heard anything about this? That some of these people are saying that they getting these crazy offers to protest? And some of them are taking it because they ain't got no money. And they saying, yo, I'm dusty, I ain't got no money, I got problems or whatever.
The organization was called No Kings. They said June 14th.
Let me see if I can get this up on the screen really quickly. Some people are saying thousands. They offering thousands. Really?
For $200 a day to go protest ICE in New York. The organization was called No Kings. They said June 14th we're going to be protesting, and these are the streets that you need to be on, and this is what you need to do. You need to cause chaotic disruptions, and they said that there's going to be pallets of like bricks and different things everywhere that protesters could use. They really want to wreak havoc. It's kind of ridiculous. Me as an American, you know, although I need the money, I'm like, this is very, very unpatriotic. If I was to go take this money and go protest, it's
So
not
as much as
very
$1,200,
American. It's
bro?
not what I stand for. It's obviously not even, you know, worth the time. But, you know, $200 a day is what they're paying people to go protest.
Some people are saying, no, $200 ain't enough. I got better things to do. Well, yeah, because you're a productive human being and you got a job and you're a tax-paying citizen and you taking care of business. But what about for somebody that ain't got no money, that ain't got nothing better to do? Maybe they laid off, whatever. They need a couple extra dollars. How do you solve for that? Yo, I need a couple extra dollars. What do you mean? I give somebody an extra $10 on top of whatever I tip them in DoorDash. She'll be like, oh man, you ain't have to do it. Thank you. You ain't got to do it. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. It's been absolutely awesome. Thank you, sir. What do you mean? People all the time. All the time, man. You'd be surprised what people will do for $20 or for $200. You'd be surprised what somebody would do for $200.